Gerald, my plant is starting to lose its leaves and look unhealthy. What do I do? If you have questions like that, stick around. Hey everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you are all doing well. I have a special video for you, one I was really hoping not to have to do yet, but it's unfortunately a video I have to do. And as you can see, I have my prize, what I call my prize, Christmas cactus here in front of me today. And the reason I'm doing this video, and I kind of thought this was going to be coming here sooner than later, but I was holding off, is that I came out today and I had a leaf drop to the ground. And as I look into it further, while the most of the plant looks healthy, there are some leaves that are starting to look curled up and shriveled up at the ends of the branches, or the whatever you want to call them, the stems. And so unfortunately, I think we need to do some love and care to this plant. I knew come spring that I was going to have to repot this, because I think this is starting to get root bound down here in the pot. I just repotted this maybe a year and a half ago. I'm not sure now. It's been a year and a half or 2 years ago now. But I think it's already outgrown its pot. So as you can see, this is the pot that it's in. It has grown tremendously. Many people often would just trim it back and allow it to regrow. But because of the way it looks, I really like the bushy look of this plant. And I want it to continue getting larger if I can. I don't know. I've never had one this big before, but I'm really enjoying the look of it. However, okay, so let's take a step back. This is the middle of January here in the Northern Hemisphere. I live in New Jersey. You typically should not repot plants in January in the Northern Hemisphere. They are in hibernation mode. Christmas cactuses are often just finished blooming. This one started to bloom, and all of the blooms started to shrivel up and fall off. So, I only got a handful of blooms from this plant. So that was another warning sign that there's something else going on in this plant that I need to address. So, even though I really should not be repotting this plant, I'm reading all the warning signs, and it's telling me that I should be doing something to it. So, while all the literature says I shouldn't repot this until spring, whenever the plant comes out of hibernation mode and you want to repot it, that's the best time to repot, is either spring or early fall. I want to have a plant left to take care of come spring, and I'm worried that if I don't do something now, that I might start to lose the plant. I'm seeing here a shriveled leaf here. I'm seeing some, even though there's some new growth on this plant, I'm very disappointed that it didn't bloom. I mean, look how many blooms this could have had if it would have bloomed. So what I'm going to do, I'm thinking that it's root bound. One reason is I got this for Christmas, and this is a great tool to have if you are one that does not know how much watering to do, or if you're overwatering or underwatering. This one specifically measures moisture, pH level, and light level in your plants. All you do is pop the prongs down into the water or into the pot and allow the sensor to tell you how much water is in there. I was at first worried that I was overwatering this plant. But when I went to put the prongs down into the pot, I couldn't get the prongs in, which is telling me that I'm pretty sure this is root bound. I could be completely wrong when I get down in there. Now, I just recently watered this, so I know that the pot is going to be wet or moist when I get down in there. So I'm probably going to be working with a wet soil medium, just because I just watered this the other day, not thinking I was going to have to repot this. So just know that in mind whenever we get down into the pot. But regardless of the fact that it might not be pot bound in there, I know there's something else going on and I need to address that. So I'm going to take it out of the pot anyways. I already had purchased a new pot for it because I wanted to be prepared for the spring. I found this one at IKEA. I really like it. I think it's going to be a beautiful contrast to the green. Plus, I love the detailing on that pot. It's a larger pot than the one it's in, so it will have plenty of room to grow whenever it does, hopefully, fingers crossed, rebound. And we'll see what happens. So I'm not going to necessarily talk during the repotting process. Repotting is repotting. You're taking it out. You're taking off the excess dirt. You're putting it into the new pot with the fresh dirt. I am using a Miracle Grow. This is my go-to Miracle Grow for cactus, citrus, and my cactus and citrus is great for succulents, which Christmas cacti are considered a succulent. So that's what I put my Christmas cactus in. Is Miracle Grow. What's great about the Miracle Grow is that it already has fertilizer in it, so then I do not have to fertilize it for the first few for a while after you repot it. It has all the nutrients in the soil that it needs after you've initially repot. And this is no advertisement for Miracle Grow soil. I do not get any kickback from them whatsoever. That's just the brand I use. That's the brand I gravitate towards. That's what I have readily available around here. And I'm not somebody that has the space or the time or the knowledge to grow and mix my own soils. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of the old pot, put it into the new pot, and we'll see, and I will check back in with you whenever I get everything taken care of. And we're back. And as you can see, I now have the plant fully potted. I think it looks great in this pot. I hope it does well and thrives. It will take a little bit of time for it to settle down in because I had to finagle the plant all over the place. It got a little bit it doesn't look the way it used to. I think the branches will settle down and lay the way they used to a little bit better once it just is allowed to rest a little bit. Also, as you might have seen during the potting process, I did lose another leaf. That was my accident. I just was a little bit too rough with it and it broke off. If I wanted to, I could I could propagate this. I could make a new plant out of this. All I have to do is allow this to lay out and dry, allow the end where it was attached to the plant to dry and callus over 2 or 3 days, and then I could put it into soil. That way then that end doesn't rot first. You need to allow it to callus over first, and then I could just pop it into a small pot with some soil. I'm probably not going to do that just because I already have too many Christmas cacti, but that's always a great gift idea if you want to, if you have some really healthy plants and you want to create, to give some gifts, you could always do a Christmas, Christmas cactus are easy to grow and great to propagate. So just an idea, especially whenever you're repotting and some pieces break off. It's a simple, easy way to go, and you don't have to throw away those little bits. So as you saw during the potting process, if you're paying attention, and I did hold it up, you could see around that one edge, it was pretty well root bound. It also, whenever I was digging down in, it did feel like there was a little bit of mushiness, maybe a little bit of root rot. So I'm glad I went ahead and did this. I am going to allow, since I just watered it, where the roots were pretty well bound, they were, it's still pretty wet, that ball of roots. So I'm not going to water it today. I'm going to allow the plant just to settle into the new pot today and get adjusted, and probably in a day or two, then I will go ahead and give it water. So, I mean, that is my call that I'm gonna do. If it wasn't root bound, I would definitely give it water today. So, but because I just watered it yesterday, and so those roots are already wet, I don't want to oversaturate the pot as the roots and waterlog the plant and shock the plant. So because this plant is not looking the great, even though it looks great right now, there are areas where it's just not all that healthy, like as much as it should be. And I really, really would like to get it to bloom again. My Christmas cacti usually bloom twice a year, once in the fall and once in the spring. So I'm really, really hoping I can coax this into a spring bloom, since I didn't get a fall bloom, a healthy fall bloom. So with that, I am going to, because I just potted this, again, I don't want to shock it, so I'm going to put it in an area that has some shade. I'm not going to put it into the sun like it normally sits. Probably going to leave it right here on the table for the rest of the day or the next couple days. Allow it again to settle into the pot that it's in, and then I will move it into its normal area over here, which is directly across from the sunny spot of the window. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I always put my email also in the information box that is directly below the video. If you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe and also hit the bell button so you get all the notifications of any new videos that are posted to the channel. And until next time, don't forget to always enjoy your video, or enjoy your gardening. Enjoy these videos too. And make sure by clicking the thumbs up button. And don't forget to always, 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 always be creative.